Hi guys, welcome back to Lemphalation. This is Jovita here, and today's video is going to be me talking about my experience at Monash University. So I studied at Monash for 2 years and I did my Masters of Teaching. So on one of my previous videos, two viewers commented asking me to share my experience. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my experience, which would include the coursework, the admission, placements, job opportunities, IELTS and all of that. So if this video does help you out in any way, please don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up and also subscribe for more. And if you'd like to know my experience, then please keep watching. So firstly, I'm going to be talking about the admission process and the application and all of that. So basically, I had no idea about what kind of coursework Monash offers you and what can you specialize in. They've got early years, which is basically children who are 6 months up till the age of 5, or you can specialize in primary education, so that would be teaching up to grade 6 in a primary school, and then there's secondary school obviously where you can teach up to high school. So I was really keen on working with the younger age groups, and I wanted to also keep my options open in case of job opportunities and all of that. And at that point, the faculty member suggested to me that it would be a better option for me to have like a dual half and half degree in early years and also in primary education. So that would help me open up the job opportunity spectrum, and it wouldn't restrict me only to the early years. And also for people who are thinking of staying back and applying for a PR, it would be helpful for you to also check the skills occupation list, the SOL list, like what it's called. So they mention which career options are on that list, and those are the fields that you can apply with for your PR. So at that point, early years was not on the list and primary education was on the list. So that's when I decided that I wanted to do my Masters in teaching in the early years and primary. So you can choose whichever section you want to teach in. So it could be only primary education, so you'll be doing 2 years of your Masters just learning about primary education. You can do primary and secondary, you can do early years and primary, you can do early years and secondary. So it just depends on what your choice or what your preference is. So Masters of Education is very different to Masters in Teaching. So Masters in Teaching is a degree that lets you work in kindergartens, in childcares, in primary schools, in secondary schools, and teach the children, whereas Masters in Education would just be like the back end work of it. So it doesn't necessarily relate to teaching. You won't be able to enter the teaching field if you do a Masters of Education. So that's the difference in Australia. So for the application, you do need to have a bachelor's degree. It doesn't have to be anything related to teaching. You can have any bachelor's degree and you can apply for your Masters in Teaching. So I had done my bachelor's in psychology and sociology. So that was the 3-year bachelor course that I did back in Mumbai, India, and then I applied for my Masters in Teaching. So when I was in my course, there were people from multiple career backgrounds, so they didn't necessarily have to have teaching experience. There were people who were way older than me, there were people who were way younger than me, so it doesn't restrict you from applying to this course. And I also had to give my IELTS exam. So for the IELTS, it's obviously a higher requirement because you're getting into the teaching field, and they expect you to have a higher English score. So you need to get an 8 and 8 in listening and speaking and 7 in reading and writing. So I did my IELTS back in Mumbai and I got my required scores so I could apply for my course. So moving on to the next topic, which is the coursework. So it was a 2 years master's degree and it is full-time. So you need to attend classes or lectures or tutorials on campus. And at that time, obviously, we had the option of viewing your lectures online, but we had to compulsorily go for certain units. So they had like compulsory attendance. So one of it is a lecture. So basically the whole entire class, which would be the entire cohort who's studying the same units as you would be in a big lecture hall, and there would be one lecturer who'd just explain briefly about what that topic is or what that lesson is for that particular day. And then on the same in the same week, you'd go for a tutorial wherein it would be a smaller group and a tutor would just explain in deep about the topic that they're teaching you for that week or that particular day. So those are the two ways that the teachers would teach you the subjects. Also, the course is graded based on assignments. So certain assignments could be 60% of your assignment would be written. So wherein they'll give you like maybe 5,000 word essays or 10,000 word essays, depending on what the grading system is. And if it's like a 60-40, the 40% would be a presentation in the class. So either it could be an individual presentation or it could be a group presentation. So it depends on the units and it varies from unit to unit. It's all about how you word your essays and how meaningful you make it. So you always have to make sure you're including what the tutors and the lecturers mention into your assignments. So that would give you a higher score. So that's why they give you like readings to complete during the week, and those mandatory list of readings need to be implemented into your assignments as well. So that would help you score a better grade. So that is with the coursework. So during my course, when I enrolled in 2017, I did the February intake. So I remember at the start itself, they had told us that the Australian government had come up with this new examination, which was a literacy and numeracy test for initial education teachers. So this test basically was to make sure that the teachers who are going to enter the primary or secondary education sector would complete an English and a numeracy test, just because they wanted the students to have that basic knowledge. So this test was introduced in 2017, the same year that I enrolled into Monash. So even though we did this whole IELTS before we applied for our course, we had to again go through this English exam. So this was conducted by a company called Acer, and you had to pay about $100 for each of the tests, and it was somewhere in the city, so you had to go and appear for that test on a computer. So the English test is basically like a reading test of an IELTS. So it's just passages that you read and you answer those questions. And the mathematics test was, they apparently had told us it would be basic maths, which you've studied in your school level. But the maths was really tough, maybe because I'm really bad at maths, but I didn't clear it in the first time and I had to give it 3 times until I cleared it. So this was a mandatory test that they had told us if we wouldn't pass, they wouldn't give us our degree. So you get like 4 chances overall and you have to clear out these 2 tests in those 4 chances. So this was another thing that was additionally put on us besides the whole coursework and everything. So moving on to placements. So the teaching course has certain placements that you need to mandatorily complete, whether it's in the early years or whether it's in the primary or secondary sectors. So since I was studying my master's in early years and primary education, I had to do 3 placements in the early years and 3 placements in a primary school. So Monash allocates these centers or schools to you. You don't need to go out of your way to find different centers and schools. Since it's a part of your coursework, you will be graded on the assignments or any other paperwork that is related to your placements. So for my early years placement, I had to do 3 placements in a center. So the first one was with the 3-year-old kindergarten. The second one was in a 5-year-old kindergarten, and there was one in the baby's room, so that was in a childcare. So these were the 3 placements I had in my early years field, and the 3 placements in the primary school, 2 of them were in the same primary school and 1 was in a separate one. So it was an amazing experience altogether. You get to learn so much when you go on your placements. I felt that my placements were the main reason why I could actually improve myself as a teacher and help me learn so much more from my mentor teachers and also from my peers who were doing the placements with me. These placements last for 15 days, so that's 3 weeks, and you have to compulsorily attend each and every day of your placement. If you miss out on those days, you need to make up for it later. And while you're at your placements, obviously you have to be very proactive. You have to go out of your way to do above and beyond what your coursework assigns you to. Work hard and show your mentor teachers that you're good enough to get employed at that center. So that is one option where you can actually get employed and find a job for yourself. So now, since we're talking about jobs, I'd like to move into the job opportunities that we have with this course. Teaching in general is in high demand in Australia currently. In any of the states, if you'd go to Victoria or any other regional areas as well, teaching is quite in demand right now, especially in the early years. So early years basically is you can work either in a nursery room, a toddler room, a pre-kinder room and a kinder room. So those are like the 4 age groups wherein children from 6 months right up to the age of 5 years old come to a center. So there's long day cares wherein you'd have like the long day cares basically function from 6:30 in the morning to 6:30 in the evening or 7 to 7, depends on what timing the center follows. So this is basically, it could have all these rooms that I mentioned. So there would be children who are really young and also children who are ready to go to school. And then there are also sessional kinders, which are government run kinders, which only function from 9 to 5, and the children come in from 9 to 3, and then the teachers get 2 hours of planning and programming and documentation and all of that. So these are the 2 sections in early years, and obviously the primary schools are full-time, so you go from 8 to like 5 or 6 in the evening, but obviously the children come in only from 9 to 3. But the teachers need to go 1 hour prior to the school's opening, and they also have to stay back for like meetings and things like that. And you might just get a job through your placements while you're at it, or if not, you can use like different websites like Seek, Indeed, Gumtree, where they'll keep posting different kinds of jobs every single day and you can just apply for them. Another way to get jobs is also through networking, which is very important in Australia. You need to get to know people from your coursework, get to know your teachers or your lecturers at uni. Also, when you go for your placements, try and get in touch with your mentor teachers, with the other colleagues who work with you. So that's how you network, and they'd help you find new jobs as well. So moving on to after you finish your course, obviously if you want to work as a kindergarten teacher, or if you want to move into the primary or secondary section, you need to have a VIT registration. So VIT basically stands for Victorian Institute of Teaching, and it's a registration that you need to get done if you're going to be working as a kindergarten teacher or as a primary school teacher. So lastly, just speaking about my experience all in all, I'd say that it was an amazing experience learning at Monash University. It's an excellent course, and it's also ranked really well, not only in the Australian universities but also worldwide. Also, the job opportunities are really good after you finish your course, and also the practical experience that the uni provides you through the placements is also excellent, because you get to learn so much while you're at your placements. I remember when I started with my placements, it was quite intimidating. I had no idea how to work with children because I had no experience with it back home, back in India, and I had not researched about what the teaching environment is like in Australia, but the people throughout my placement journey was so welcoming and so friendly. They were just so helpful throughout the whole process. They helped me learn and grow as an individual, and that just helped me improve myself and also use those practices in my current work experience. And it's been 3 years that I'm working in the industry now, and it's just been a great experience so far. And I'd say my entire decision of applying for this course and just being in this field has just strengthened even more after I've moved and started working. And you get to meet a lot of people from different backgrounds, so it was an amazing experience just getting to know and learn and grow with different people around you. So if you're planning to study at Monash, and if you're planning to do your teaching course, it's full of ups and downs. You'll be stressed out with all your assignments, but you'll also have fun during your placements, and working with children is amazing. You'll enjoy the whole experience. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something new and also enjoyed watching and listening to me sharing my experience. If you did enjoy this video, then please don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up, and also click that subscribe button because I do make new videos based on my student life and also other experiences. Don't forget to also click the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, if you'd like me to make more of such videos where I share my student life experiences, or get any of my friends to share their experiences, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd also love to share my experience with how I prepared for my IELTS and my literacy and numeracy test during my coursework. If you'd like to know more about that, then let me know in the comment section below. And that's it for today. I hope to see you guys in my next one. Until then, peace and love. Bye.